and other areas I was seeing in my life where it was important to connect to the truth, I felt like I could no longer disconnect from my body the way I was. Hello, so this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while, and it's going to be about my experience healing from very painful periods, very painful menstrual cramps and other symptoms of menstruation, and coming to a place where not only I am more physically at peace but mentally at peace when I'm on my period. I guess my history is I got my period when I was in 7th grade, and I had a little bit extra weight on me. By the time I was in high school, I had gotten taller and a lot thinner, and something that was unfortunate was that I started to kind of get obsessed with that thinner look. And so even though I was getting taller and naturally, thinning out, I unnaturally pushed that and I started eating less. So I got really thin. And to give you an idea, I went from being about 125 pounds as like a 5'1" middle schooler to like 102 pounds as like a 5'3" high schooler. So I got taller, and usually when you're taller, you carry more weight. But instead of carrying more weight, I carried like about 20 less pounds. And so that resulted in me losing my period for about a year. And during that time, I went to my primary doctor, and they really had nothing to offer me that I felt in resonance with. So I found a naturopathic doctor, which is a doctor that works only with healing mechanisms, not anything that would, solve one issue and then create another issue, such as birth control. Birth control is what a lot of females use to either alleviate symptoms or do something to just kind of like control the chaos that can be the experience of a period. So a naturopathic doctor won't use something like birth control because while it does alleviate cramps and make your period less intense, it also does mess up your hormones in different ways. So the naturopathic doctor that I worked with, she kind of gave me some different supplements. I actually don't really remember what she gave me, so I'm not really going to focus on that in this video. But she gave me some different supplements that helped balance out my hormones. And one practice that she did give me was the seed rotation. It's basically when you eat a certain type of seed. So for example, flax seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, things like that. Maybe a certain type of seed that contains either estrogen or progesterone, depending on the time of month you're in. And then that helps balance out those two hormones, which are the two most important hormones when you're on your period. So I did that. So I did some supplements and I did the seed rotation, but mainly what I needed to do was gain weight. So through becoming vegan, I was able to kind of change my mindset about what food consumption meant to me, meaning that when I looked at my plate, I wasn't eating like a little bit of chicken, a little bit of rice, a little bit of veggies. Instead, I was eating like a big bowl of rice with lots of beans, lots of avocado, lots of healthy fats to increase the calories. So for me, that worked really well mentally, to just start eating big quantities of things that I couldn't necessarily do with a meat-based diet, because it just didn't feel like easy for me to eat like a lot of chicken or a lot of dairy. It felt a lot easier for me to eat a lot of beans and rice and make sure I throw a lot of avocado in there and things like that. So through that, I was able to gain weight and actually maintain it until where I'm at now. So the past, I guess, 3-4 years, I've been able to come back to like 120 pounds as 5'3", with a lot of muscle as well. And I did end up getting my period back within the year. So that was a close call, because losing your period can be very damaging on your body. And also, I was a competitive runner, so if I was to not have my period and be running, that would be like a double whammy on my body and really affect me when it comes time for me to have children. So now I'm going to explain kind of the second big occurrence in my experience of menstruation. So About a year ago, so the beginning of 2020, I started getting really, really painful cramps. When I got my period back from when I lost it, there was a span of time for about a year and a half where I had no like super bad symptoms. It was like my period was kind of coming back. It was like not very long, it was light, and it was no, like very few cramps. Nothing really bothered me. So I didn't think about it. I just was totally disconnected from that part of myself. You know, each month just, you know, there'd be blood and that would be it. But slowly but surely, I began to get really painful cramps, especially the first day. And it was something that I couldn't ignore. It was becoming extremely painful, extremely debilitating. And I don't use that word lightly. Like, I literally couldn't do things. If I had my period and it came at a certain time, if I had something to do, I literally couldn't do it. I had to, for 2 hours, I had to hunker down and literally just manage. And so at the beginning of this year, at the beginning of this experience of more painful periods, I was using a lot of ibuprofen and things because I just was so weak everywhere, weak physically, weak mentally, like just couldn't. I wanted to block it out. I wanted it to go back the way it was when I was disconnected to my body. I was not, feeling it. I wanted to just hide. So I just, pop some ibuprofen and I would allow it to relax, and then I would just go about my day, very like mindlessly. And after a few periods, this started to really not resonate with me. The fact that I was just, covering up something that my body was trying to speak to me and I was just silencing it. So coupled with a lot of spiritual growth that I was going through and other areas I was seeing in my life where it was important to connect to the truth, I felt like I could no longer disconnect from my body the way I was. So I sought out, a new naturopath was brought into my space through a personal growth seminar that I do. And I started seeing him. It was a male doctor, actually, and he didn't necessarily have a specialty in women's health or menstruation, but what he does have a specialty in is emotional healing. So I did about 2 sessions with him of emotional healing, and he also did give me some herbs and supplements to balance it out. And I'm not going to go into those because I don't think that was really the main reason that I am where I am today. He went through a lot of emotional healing with me, and I'm not going to go through that personally because I'm not an expert on it, but I'm going to just share my experience. So he kind of prepped me to be able to have these cramps and be able to be mentally strong and connected. So feel gratitude and feel appreciation and connection to my body when I'm experiencing cramps. So basically, each month, this was a period of about maybe 4 months, that the first month was still very, very painful, like a 10 out of 10 scale of pain, but slowly but surely I was able to be in that moment where the pain and just the piercing quality that cramps can have on your body, and just fully be present and grateful. So one thing that I will explain is infinite love and gratitude, which is the love gun, and this is a technique that you could use to connect to your body. So you just say infinite love and gratitude, infinite love and gratitude, and you could say this out loud or in your head, and I would just do that when I was having the cramps. That would be my medicine, is that gratitude and that connectiveness, and that saying to my body, I see you, I hear you, I respect you, rather than just shutting my body off and just being like, you're too much for me, I don't deserve this, this isn't right, I'm not grateful for this. Instead, I just went the total opposite direction. I had to build this practice. The first period where I was conscious of this, it was very hard. I was like, how can I be grateful for such pain in my body? But slowly but surely each month, I was able to connect and stopped taking ibuprofen totally and just allowed myself to do things that really resonated with me. So for me, an example of that is when I am experiencing cramps, I do not sit or lay in my bed and just wrestle around. I I could pick a little spot in my house or wherever I am. I wrap a blanket around me. I literally bend over like an old woman and I hobble in this like circle. I don't do like big walks, but I just go from one room to another and I just do these circles. And I maybe do like close to 100 of them, however long it takes. And I just say infinite love and gratitude, infinite love and gratitude. And I connect and I connect. And after a couple periods, this experience became a meditation for me. It became a moment where I was beyond the third dimensional world. It became an experience that I wouldn't trade for any other. And that's when the true experience of gratitude came in. Before it was just, using gratitude as medicine. But now I have a true experience of gratitude when I'm experiencing cramps, that it's just beautiful. And there was even 2-month period where I had actually no cramps. It was like 100% painless. But the whole point of this video is not to be pain-free or struggle-free. And I'm gonna go into that a little bit later, but I just wanted to show that it is possible to go pain-free if you truly are in the space where you're processing emotion right away and very quickly, which isn't right or wrong, but if you happen to be in that space, and I was in that space that month where I was really connected and present and grateful a lot of the times, and that allowed me to have a period where there wasn't a lot of stuff that would cause pain because everything was cleared. And I will say that my cramps have gotten a lot better since last year. They are not nearly as painful, but I still experience pain. And instead of being disturbed or upset about this pain, or frustrated or angry or like livid about this pain, I now feel an extreme sense of gratitude. Those moments when I am experiencing pain are the moments where I'm the most connected to my body. It's the moments where I have such a relationship with my femininity and my experience of my natural body. And so I wouldn't trade those moments for the world. So yeah, like I said, I still have pain, but this pain is like the most amazing teacher and the most amazing guide to how to get to know myself better. And not to mention, I do plan on having children, and childbirth is not some unpainful thing. And I don't think the point of life is to avoid pain or avoid discomfort or, bypass uncomfortable situations. I think the point of life is to be in those situations and be peace, be calm, be love. And to me, that just speaks to my heart so much. So I couldn't imagine going back to popping ibuprofen because it's just not who I am anymore. So all of this wouldn't have happened if I didn't experience that pain and didn't, tell my body, I can hear you, I can feel you, and acknowledge it. Because think about in life, if a child is just shunned and said, go to your room, we don't want to talk to you, you're a burden, all these things, the child is not going to feel good. And our body is the same way. If we constantly say to our body, I don't want to listen to you, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to feel you, all these things, our body is going to be crying out for help, and you're not going to feel imbalanced, you're not going to feel happy, you're not going to achieve things that you want in life, you're going to feel stuck. And that's how I honestly was feeling. I was feeling stuck and I was feeling helpless. And now I'm feeling empowered and feeling beautiful and connected and everything that I've ever wanted to feel in my life. It took a journey, it took a village. But if I can sum it down to something, it's saying to my body, I hear you. And not saying I'm trying to fix you, or I need to make you better, or I need to shut you up somehow. But literally just saying, I hear you. With no judgment, no attempt to fix, presence. So I'll give you an example. If I was experiencing cramps right now, I would be definitely moving around, but I would be looking something like this. And you can see there's a deep presence, a respect, and a sincerity. And that's all I want to be in life. a respectful, sincere, beautiful, connected person. And so experiencing my period like this helps me be like that in real life. So experiencing my period like this helps me be like that in other areas of my life. And I've seen massive growth with that. And I want to get into that into another video about how I've changed my life quite a bit in the past couple months. For right now, this is something that I think is, I'll say, one of the entrance points to this new life that I'm living. And like I said, it takes a village, it takes a journey, and that's what we are here to do in life. You know, we're not here to bypass all these scary things or troublesome experiences or pain and sadness and suffering. Life is suffering, you know, and that's a Buddhist statement. And it does sound harsh and like, how do I get out of it then? How do I get out of life? Like, you know, but truly, this life is meant to feel beauty in the pain. And so I know it's not easy, and anyone watching this video who was like me a year ago when I was totally at loss, popping ibuprofen. Thank God I wasn't on birth control, but some of you might be on birth control. And I'm not an expert. I would love to be an expert someday and be able to offer more professional opinions. But right now, I'm beautiful the way I am. I just want to say to you, listen to your heart, listen to your truth. If this video resonates with you, reach out to me some more and maybe we can talk, because this is something I'm extremely passionate about. I won't be able to guide you all the way deep, but I can definitely send you in the right direction of some beautiful people, beautiful content that you can watch and you can listen to and you can start your journey. And it's, like I said, it's a journey, it's a process, but I wouldn't give up that process for the world, because it allows me to truly feel the moment. Because I've experienced so much, I can be here in gratitude. Thank you so much for listening and for being here, being open to a new way that you can transform yourself and you can use things that pop up in your life, painful things, struggles. You can use those struggles to learn. So with that, I'll say infinite love and gratitude, and I'll see you in the next video.